It's amazing when you see things coming into form communication line centers, new ground line centers, new soil, new activation, new pod. It's a countermeasure through its line interference. It's coming into tracking interference locations. Hope everybody had a fantastic 2021 in position locations coming into new year line center of 2022. So it's about reminiscing in the year of what you did within that year. It's all how to make yourself better with what's coming. So it's amazing when you see these things track the line center, rotation interference. So I set up ground interference positions, new power line center, and everything through the magnetic highway information system. Adding rotations and center to connections, high force, and everything's clock and line center. Hope everybody had a fantastic new year. So basically, it's very important to understand what's happening with you as Mother Earth is basically coming into new soil, new grounds, new vibration, new activation, new clocking center. It's all position of space. Once you get space set up in the line center, everything comes into ground rotations, right? So humanity is in the full operation cycle of a new seed pod activation center, navigation to its system locations. Okay, it's like watering a flower. What happens when a flower wilters over time? Right? What happens when the seed falls off? One after another. What happens when it recalibrates or surfaces and repositions itself? Comes into something more beautiful, right? So we're coming out of the old generation lights and we're coming into new track interference. So we're coming into the singularity of position locations, right? Adaptation cycles to interference locations, the brain line center. Now it's all positioned to all levels into clarity vision. Clarity vision is extremely important because I'll tell you, when it comes into all levels of the mind system, you have to understand adaptations, everything through cycles and communication surface and position locations. So Mother Earth is now into a new body system. Yay! Happy dance. You guys excited? I'm excited. So what I want to do today is understand communications through all levels. When you guys go to higher levels, you get more voice grid line centers. Mother has a voice, so does father, right? That's given to you to time sequence line interference. But today we're going to go into travel time rotations to its ascended masters. Okay, so I set up the core system rotations. You guys are calculating and modified to the mind line center. What's going to happen is you're going to see ascended masters and they're going to help you align your chakra system of activation. Okay, they're going to help you in formations. You have to understand what ascended master is and why they're here. They've always been here, right? So what a way to start off the new year. Going to see ascended masters, all ascended master locations, all sentients of ascended masters, grandmasters, great grandmasters, all position locations. You're going to be introduced to Akna. He was positioned to my mentor. 5 track interference positions of Thoth, communications, Hades, Scorpius, Hermes, and line center. Gods, demigods, and position locations, all level of track and rotation connections. Greek gods, mythology, line interference, in position locations, cosmic universe locations, all positioned to high line center. You guys got to come into that full cycle of communication to the ground line center of Mother Earth. Okay, seed pod activation to its navigation system. Here's the timeline center. So it's very powerful how Mother Earth is coming into a new cycle, a new ground, okay, a new soil, new water. So that's what's happening right now with humanity. Clarity vision locations coming out of their dream line centers. Everybody is awake. They're just coming more to its awareness. So the new cycle is going to put everybody in the birth line center to Visca Pisces in the Pisces line rotation position to its connections. So it's on understanding how to put all planet interference. We come into Jupiter and everything through Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn is going to equal its system line center, electrical light interference, position locations, track its line center to its flash drives, communication to its line, rotation to its system, located all levels of track line connections. All right. So once you see the structure line centers, you're going to travel through ascended masters. Okay. I give you guys half an hour. All right. So there was a reason why there wasn't class on Saturday because it's the new year. Track interference positions, and I had to get full communication line centers. Every time I get up in the morning, lights outside, lights inside. Always communicate with me through codes. When you guys go to higher levels, You go to higher levels of the mind. So what happens when you go to higher levels of the mind? You're no longer in the conceptual line system rotations to its body. You have more communications to light. See again there. See the rocket? See it right there? Yeah, it's all ready. So you're going to teleport through a rocket surface line center, all positions through light tracking interference. This is going to send you to ascended master interference locations. All right. All right. So you guys have any questions before we get started for the new year? All right. Please check out the video too that I did with Kirsten. It was amazing. I keep watching over and over and over. It's great to see these things because it's all about adaptation cycles to everything through conditions. How he just puts a smile on humanity, knowing that everything's going to be okay, and it's all justified. That's the true understanding. But you see, the thing is, you guys are coming into new cycles of bodies, new vibration line center, but it's all connected to Mother Earth. So the old seed pod of Mother Earth is leaving, and the new seed pod is growing. Okay, so it's amazing what happens with levels of petals of a flower. They just fall off, right? And over time, it grows. So it's amazing how the track interference comes into rotation to its archive-like conditions, right? So we got to get all positions, all levels of the moon, and everything, the track system of the sun on rotation. So it's that's what it's coming into. So it's spinning on line center locations. Like again, it's like spinning a diamond rotation interference. You spin it, and eventually, but then it drops, right? But see, space and time doesn't do that. It keeps rotating. So we're on a new rotation of clocking line center and a new coloration pattern. Okay, clear division to its locations. So everybody's going to come into new pattern interference. And again, we're going to come to all levels of new position locations of string theory. You guys have to understand more audio track interference. So when I send you to the masters, you're going to be able to understand alignments better. You're going to understand track interference. You're going to understand pattern defense lines. You're going to understand more position of what this spine is to you. You're going to understand the brain line center, cell communication, eye receptors, eye rotators, all communications in line center. What is the heart? Because it is computer line system locations. But you have to understand all levels of the new ground center, right? And this is all about understanding how to really put yourself in positions to Mother Earth. What is Mother Earth to you, right? It's the ground perception of you because you wake up to it, you stand on it, right? So that's all leaving. We're coming into new grounds, new seed, new soil, new water, new air, new fire, okay? So when you come into these positions, the body and the line center has to have full separation of the old system locations, coming into the new track interference to its new program setting, to its computer operations center location, right? All right, so Commander, how's it going? Tina, Lotus, Patrick, how you doing? Patrick, yeah, so basically, if you want to be upgraded to higher level system there, Patrick, let me know so you can see more through rotation. Please just try to get into all levels of you. Now's the time because I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that are really changing quicker because it's a feeling. You feel it. You feel different. And that's the point I'm trying to get across here is your body feels different. Your vibration feels different. Your hair feels different. Your eyes feel different. Your ears are different. Everything is different inside you. So it reflects on levels of responding. You're responding information to its reaction system. See that? See that? See? See that light graph? See that light graph? Everything is intelligent. See that? You have to pay attention to these things. See that? See that line strip? It doesn't look much to you, but it's everything to me. Okay? It doesn't look much to you because you just see it as light. You don't see anything else because it's hard to understand the perception of what it is. The more you reach higher levels of the mind conceptual interference, the more you come into space, guys. And that's a true understanding where you come into that position. So sending you to the ascended masters, grandmasters, and great grandmasters, you get a better understanding how to line your chakra system to locations, all right, to the new grounds, okay? So you don't get confused through anomaly or anything through switching line center. All right. Okay. Lotus recalibrating. Yep. Happy New Year. Veronica, how's it going? So you have any questions, please feel free. I will be going over to TikTok after. What? You want to be upgraded to high-rise position line interference location, the home position line center. All right, Captain. Let's see. Heather, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. And see, it's the feeling that you feel, and it's amazing how it tracks the interference locations to its positions, right? It's incredible feeling. It really is, because I feel different. You should feel different. See, this is all about balancing you in space. Okay. And you have to do these things now because you're coming in a new adaptation of grounds. Okay. So we're leaving the old Mother Earth. You're coming into a new cycle. You have to. We're coming into new father space. So this is all in position, but you have to separate all that from the old cycles, guys. You can't be in the old cycle rotations. Okay. Or I won't be able to set up the atom line center. Now, in practical level, it's already done in rotations, but it's better to give you what's going on through day-to-day processes conditions, because you live under ground systems every single day. Chronological systems do level conditions, right? Anybody that doesn't understand this, it's very hard, because the complication is it's you through rotation. If you don't understand my universal language, that's totally fine. But what you have to understand is that you can learn this on your system location. You become your own universal language. You become your own activation. You become your own avatar. You become your own levels of your computers, right? So it's getting the grounds with you through rotations. That's true understanding. Because basically, you have a desk, you have a laptop, right? If there wasn't a desk, the laptop would be on the ground. So that's important to understand why you have a desk. It's all about stabilism. Stabilism is everything through track interference. Because rotations. Okay. All right. So I got it all structured. Kayla, how you doing? Janet, how's it going? Also, too, I sent you guys a 2019 video all about everything that's happening with the Earth and the shift and all that. I was a commanding force, and I was still an angelic master. I'm just showing exactly how things change, and you reminisce over that year, which is 365 years. All right, and they're tracking interference locations, right? I mean, that's a lot. That's 1 year, right? That's 12 cycles. That's 12 dimensions that you guys live every single cycle of rotation interference. So it comes into calculation of an old generation to a new generation to new millennium. Okay, it processes its position line conditions. So that's what space anomalies in. We're in a new cycle right now, coming into physical Pisces. So it's really, really, really exciting. Okay. Yep. You're going to see yourself in God and master forms. Very good, Commander. Yeah. You guys have to really get into alignments. So you're going to see a lot of position locations of gods, demigods. When I say gods, I mean gods in representation of higher force line center acceleration to your positions, how to travel faster through acceleration of shapes. Okay. Times square times pi. Why do you think we have the T force line center coming up? Right? Why do you think I'm sending you guys into your Ascendant Master rotations to its form locations? Right? It's Power Rangers would say it's morphin time. All right. Arlene, how you doing? Kitty Cat, still releasing the looping because just hit myself on the floor again. Yep, that's fine. See, you're breaking down on surface. So everything that you're going through, you're coming into that new cycle, right? You have to have new grounds, powers, and you have to line center. Okay. The magnetic highway information system is fully taking all humanity in rotation. Okay. That's what we got to look at. All right. Yeah. If you want to be upgraded, Patrick, just we'll go on my TikTok afterwards. This will help you better travel direction of time. So when you understand the 12 central line center, let's just make it very real clear, because I also did it with Kirsten's center for when we were talking about the chakra system, how it works through your vessels. You understand you are the program. You are the operation to your operator. So you are directing your own play. You are producing your own play. This activates you on all levels of system location to its activity. So whatever you want to do, you have to understand the process, and it works through data process locations, upgrades, downloads, and operating the system. The true understanding is what is given to you when energy comes into you. Understanding the process of what it is, because a lot of people don't know what energy is, but now they're going to start, because the ground line center is at a higher vibration to the heart reactor. Everybody's going to come in more into all locations in the fifth dimension system location. Right? This is all about communication of telepathy to one and each other. So, Releasing old cycles. Good. Doing it so far the past week. Yep. So many triggers in the last few weeks. Lots of stuff released in time. Yep. And that's what it has to do. It has to break down all the forces of 2021 to get in 2022. So true news time position locations, right? Okay. That's true understanding too, because your body understands its position. Everything inside changes outside, especially with your thoughts. So your thoughts are going to go faster, but they're going to line signal through track interference. Now, line signal through track interference is going to put you in the right operation cycle to its rotation, to its circulation. Okay, it's going to grand line center. Now, a grand line center is to truly understand the dynamics of you through line connections, all through your shapes and geometry system locations, right? You have to really understand how to travel faster through acceleration, guys. Okay, especially when you live in the line center rotations of space through light. See, look at that. You see it as light. I see it as intelligence. See, it's all communication every single day, every single day. Okay, so it responds to you, you respond to it back. That's how it works. Yeah, a lot of energy's coming in because you're going to be activated and they're going to teleport you guys. So feeling so much love, yeah. Yeah. All right, Ellen, how you doing? Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to get you guys in track interference. New gravity centers, all position locations, navigate inner position to its line center. Ascended masters, grand masters, great grand master communication, give the alliance and positions to track interference of clocking locations. New ground line centers coming in rotation interference. So 3 ground and rotation interference to its water track interference is 7 body track locations. The 5-dimensional line center is 12 locations. This is what you have to understand. This is what stays in the cycle. Everything changes the sun and everything through your moon program taking it to the flex capacitor line channels. So I'm going to set the core system to a new fluctuation interference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set core system locations in position. All right. Track interference, all positions, galactic forces, Galactic Federation light, rebellion lines, rotation position. Put them in track system to ascended masters and rotation of forms. The Adam line center is all set up through all position locations. New ground line center. Okay, so this was the old ground. This is the new ground. Old ground, new ground. Cycle interferences come to high rotation positions. Correlates the center position to its spine to its calculations. Ascend positions to all master line centers of all levels of the alliance. Put them in the track system of clocking information to its position, all through its new magnetic highway information system. Send them in rotations, get them in their information cycles to line center in calculation to its modification system. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Activate system. Rendezvous connections. 30 minutes. Have fun. Hooah. There you go. It's all done. Let me know what you see. You guys really have to extend an acceleration, mark line centers, all positions to all levels in the calculation. So it's amazing how to track interference on all levels of grounds, right? Old ground, new ground, old ground, new ground. See how it goes up? Rotation interference. So this is the old ground of 3D. This is the 5D. Full rotation of ground system. So Mother Earth is in a new cycle. Adaptation. Hooah. All right. Woo. Excited. Okay, so anybody that wants to come in, let me know. I'll track their interference and put you guys in ascended masters, rotation information. Okay, all clocking, recalibration, all chakras, all center rainbows of spectrum lights, all heart Merkaba booted up to bright red, southwest 443.1101. Let's see, 4 degrees. Okay, so Lotus is doing his homework through his sun rotation, everything the moon, program setting, very good. Left center rotations, you forgot the left center, that's okay. Degrees are center right in communication surface to box center location times pi. So you left the times pi out there, Lotus. But that's okay. That's all right. Southeast 524. It gets complicated when you understand position line centers, but make sure you have the box center of you through calculations, flux capacitor channel line to you to locations, and everything you plug in center has to be in its division to its system. All right. Very good, Lotus. All right. Christopher, how you doing? Well, it's a vortex that faces all gods and goddesses and ancient ones. That's exactly what it is, Commander. Yeah, we're going to help you all position. Pedals are stripping, horizontal coming out of the vertical, send me in. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Patrick. You got to be in the 50 line track interference line conditions. So try not to focus so much on me. Focus more on you through travel. Get in your activation system locations. Put Patrick in line center positions. Temporary issue interference. Track his inner line center connections. He wants to be high rise to that line of rotation. Just temporary its interference location to his clock center. All computer operation to his line system locations. Put him in track system to all levels. Get him to LIK position location to ascended master. Get him in the practice system of the basic introduction to its system. Allocate positions of formats to the calculation modification line center. All right, there you go, Patrick. Jana, how you doing? Lighter, faster, freer. Being shown perspective from each of their lives and living Queen Ying right now. That's good. Don, how you doing? Don line center connection interference. Put her in the ascended master locations. High position is the ground line center. Computer operation position. Activate core line center to rotations. Yep, there you go, Don. You're in position. Teleport line connections to Michaela in interference position locations. High level triangle line center in position of ascended masters. Get in our information systems to recycle to its alignment. All right. All right. Orange umbrella. Massive view of skyline. Oh, bugs and purplish blue. Just beautiful. Yeah, seeing all my lines in my heart bright. Yeah. Everybody's going through that. Yeah. You guys have to really, really understand how to use all levels of your travels, guys. Because you guys are coming more out of your bodies. You never leave your body because you're in the fifth dimensional line center. But the problem is you got to get more activation system to acceleration and mock its interference through teleportation to your vessel, which is the vehicle interference. You have to learn how to use your navigations, right? So tomorrow we'll go into string theory to hire through acceleration mock centers. All right, that's going to be a lot of fun. You guys have to learn how to use your patterns and change your rotation centers to its graph interference. A vortex is my song. Wow, my face just got all warm. Green, portal line 77777 to 8888. Yeah. So portal of communication to Cosmos line rotations to all levels of eight channel interference positions, right? Clocking to your flux capacity line channels of your infinity cycles there, Commander. So mine too. Bright light with blue light. In center of circle formation, the master's ascended, feeling deep love, gratitude conscious with all layered chakras. Now you're welcome, McKenna. EDC, can you send me into? Yeah. Well, you got to go to higher level rotations. You go through energy track interference. You're in a program line center. You want to go up to higher levels, you have to go through upgrades, just like everybody else. So it's important you understand that EDC, okay? Especially for the new viewers. I know it's hard for understand these things, but you guys have to come out of the more of the body line center, more into the mind position location to its navigation signals. More you come into the mind, the more you stay in space. Track interference, you can calculate and modify all levels of your physical line center to fifth dimension to a new ground system to Mother Earth location to its heart reactor. So, all right, big ball, radiating light. Okay, feeling the depths of lifetime's impression through eyes. My determiner has been upgraded. Wow, amazing. My eyes are giving me all information. Each of the lifetimes are showing me how they are inside my body. That's exactly what it is. So it's adaptation cycles of your track and interference positions. That's where I'm saying you guys have your T-force, your test reviews and evaluations coming up. So you have to learn how to travel faster through acceleration of your vessels to your PM activation system. So you really have to get into your second all positions of your breath, right? So, and this is all about understanding you through track system. It's definitive system to its infinitive cycle to all level positions, right? Because you guys are in your cosmic breath, cosmic breathing. You have to come in that line conditions, right? So, middle liquid table, this is so much accurate, exactly, be shown. Yeah. I'm getting a handbag with gold. Okay, amber can be shit. Okay, some line grids. It's liquid metal, silver and gold. Silver and gold. Reminds me of Rudolph. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. All right. So basically, this will take you out of the past line center of 2021 and put you in full rotations of 2022. Okay. So you'll see less of the past and more of the present view of the now line conditions. Oppositions to your navigations to your new computer operations center. right? You really, really, really have to understand more positions of you through the mind of acceleration, guys. You're going to mark your interference. You can travel faster through 60 seconds per minute. So this is how it affects you in all levels. The more you go into the mind system, the more it affects you from the grounds. You understand? Because you're traveling faster. So you got to get balance in positions. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. Now, you remember when you have time zones, calculations, daylight savings, 1 hour back, 1 hour ahead? You have to do that with your phones now. You have to calculate and use your voice grid line center. I want to take 2021 and track interference to my phone reception in position. If you don't have to have a new phone. If you get a new phone, that's great. It's already set in position of 2022. But you have to reset and recalibrate your phone to 2022. If you don't do that, your phone reception will stay in the line signal or line ground in position locations to 2021. So make sure you use your voicing grids to change this allocated line center to position locations to its phone reception. Okay? Same with your computers, all the system, talk to your car. It's very important, right? Because if you don't, your car will be in position of its back force line conditions of its past position location, the clocking line center to 2021. Okay? So you have to do that through your phones. It's an automatic switch, guys, because you guys are coming more in mind, right? You're always going to be in your physical line. But see, the thing is, too, everything that I do is not man-made. This is all universal line setup. It's all positioned to all my computers and programs and intelligence positions. You guys really, really have to understand the clocking interference, especially in the new grounds of Mother Earth. So Mother Earth is coming in not just a cycle, but she's coming in a new birthing system of new navigations of a sea pod, right? And Father is coming in a new rotation cycle of a new atom rotation to the space anomaly. So there's a lot of things that are happening right now. Got to be prepared. So, all right. Michaela, you use your voicing grid center to your intelligence. Voice grid line center is set up to 2021. I'd like to change it into 2022. Calculation, recalibrating, resurface, regenerated, lights on, done. Okay. All right. Christopher, how you doing? Well, that's why I have my school. You have to learn how to reset your program setting to all position locations. You can't live in the central line position locations of adaptation cycles of 2021. You're now in 2022. So you have to change everything. It's like changing your time zone, changing your atmospheres, daylight savings, right? What happens if your phone is ahead, but space-time is back system locations? It's not calculated and modified to the line center. The more you reach, the more you understand space-time through clocking. Okay, so that's a Trinity standing wherever you are through time frame. You have to know how to bring all levels of your phone going forward and not just in sequence a back system line center. Okay, so you're welcome there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to calculate modification line centers. I've been upgraded to higher levels of general locations, all right? I'm now in all positions of 2022, track interference, right? So I'll be on all positions, all locations of 5-star line center, 5-star line center, 10 line condition locations, times 2, all position to its locations, right? 2022. So but I'll still stay in your position locations. It's truly understanding your upgrading system to the mind. The mind through its adaptation has to truly understand the cycle through its circulation. Pattern interference to its locations, all rhythm, pattern line centers, all coloration to its program. It gets complicated more and more when you travel faster through the mind system of space. Okay. So I'll be changing that over on TikTok. So that means you guys will go higher levels too. Right? Ranking, right? Command center, all positions, your navigational lights, fluctuation interference, right? So as you go faster in the mind, you have to learn how to travel through its navigation. And this is all done through string theory, right? Because string theory is like a lacing line of laser, just and you have XD thousands above, right, coming in. And they scan you. And you're running across the line signal of matrix line interference. So it's like Tron on a bike. We did that in 2021. So you're going through more mazes and mazes and mazes and mazes and mazes through the mind, right? So the more you come out of calculation, the more you ground the system line conditions, and the more interference position comes into track system of balance position. So it's more understanding how you can use your thoughts and put yourself in positions of higher channels to its vibration, to its string theory. All right, because string theory is all based on you. All right. Everything inside is all based on you. You just have to really understand what it is through tone, position, locations. All right. So coming into the string theory. I really want to get into this because it's not a theory. Allocated to the line center rotations in the mind system to string and everything through theory, right? The theatricals of you. That's what theory is. The theatrical through its location to its calculation modifies all levels of you through tracks and line system location. So you have to understand everything through all alphabetical change. You come into new ground power in the atmospheres, you have to understand how you come into a new alphabetical line center. So the more you go into the mind adaptation of simulation, the more you come into strong force positions of string theory. All right. So it's how fast you travel through high line center. This is you through calculations. Right. That's you through calculations. Right. So you send in over the past line center, you just come out of the poor locations to its position. Right. And then you vortex over here to that position, and then another jump line center, timeline rotation to its connections, going from here and then jumping, right? So string theory is all based on patterns. Okay, string is positioned to all round line center. It's complicated because now you're coming into the activities of its ground interference, ground rotation to its positions, right? Calculations to line conditions. So this is the old ground, and this is the new ground. This is all that's happening right now. Okay, old, new. That's it. Allocate timeline center. It's fifth dimensional time lock. Right. So we're from here to here. Right. So we're here now. So everybody's here in positions faster than the mind system to calculation modification line center in rotation. Right. So you basically have to understand how to travel through all levels of your 369 platforms, communication cycles. It rotates its system to its locations. Right. You come more into your fluctuation patterns to its calculations, right? Fluctuation interference, center rotations is more calculation of the center line, okay? So you got to stay in the center more. Circle through rotation goes faster through your clocking center. The faster it goes, the more you understand through the mind center line connection, right? Faster, 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 faster. So what that does is it keeps the grounds up, right? And then the archetypes come in and they keep the ground in position to its location. It goes spinning faster and faster. Spinning through cycles of line center to your Merkaba, your Tesseract. So it goes faster and faster through rotation center. Okay? So it's all about keeping yourself in the atom line rotations. You guys are coming into T-force positions, right? January 21st. So you have to be prepared for that. But you all have to understand position of string theory and what it means. So it's all theatrical, right? So it's all about understanding your behavioral system. If you understand your ground line center and rotations, this is how you do these things. It's amazing how you do this. I was in connections to high levels outside of Pueblo, and basically I was healing this church, just putting my hand formation and tips rotation interference. I was hearing sound waves and all that. All these voices just broke the surface, and I cleanse everything through inside that church. You don't have to go inside. You can do it from outside through finger line center. So in positions, you have to learn how to use the ground line center. It's like graviton. Okay, graviton like this. This is what you can do when you go to higher levels of ground line center. It shifts the grounds to higher level rotations, takes everything that track negative line center out of position locations into its position, right? So you can do it yourself. You can bring the grounds up. Old grounds, new grounds. So it's all about understanding recalibration, reclassify youth line center to all levels of your ground chakras. Communication cycles, right? So it's bringing ground information to its position, right? That's what it is. Clocking its system to its conditions, all right? So it's amazing how you come into track system, travel through higher level. Now you're in a higher position to clocking center, travel through extra timeline, right? So it's amazing how you can do these two. And you can feel the energy. It's like you're changing the grounds. You're releasing the old negative attachment interference. So that disappears and goes away, right? And that's a beautiful thing. It disappears, but it stays in your central line to higher levels of acceleration, mocking its interference, taking all the negative channels of its ground formation, right, into that position. Right? So you come out to that positions, you come into clocking center, right? Clocking center to all levels. So your time goes faster, but remember, the more you go to higher position, the more you can understand how to put yourself in pause, stop, reframe, readjust, refocus. How you can change the clocking centers of you through space, because you live in space, you become space, you are space. When you are space, you can understand the clocking of you and how you travel faster. So you can stop space, time, space, line, space, lapse space, anything through time frame conditions. It's all positioning you to track line center. So when you come into that rotations, you put yourself in a higher level of calculation to the ground system, to its position. All right. So once that comes in, you go to a higher level of the mind line center and its two line rotation to its conditions. So once you get into that, it's all about staying in the center of operation, guys. That's all you have to do. The faster you go, the more you understand through rotation. All right. So in the clocking system will go faster, 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 faster. So if the mind, the body, heart, and the soul come into one center line connection, one interference to one computer operation to a new ground rotation, you stay in that positions, right? Because each time, remember saying you go through 12 steps, and every 12 steps you go through an orb? Well, that calculates everything, that line conditions, right? It's amazing how you do these things. So I'm fast tracking in so many levels, not just precognition, everything with positions, but I know exactly what's going to happen, which is given to me through upgrade. See, because I'm going through the whole central line center of 2021, right? Equals box, okay, slash time square, okay, in positions, right? Telekinesis, okay, equals 2022 in rotation. So that's where I am through calculation. Reading cycle is extremely fast to rotation line center. So I can see somebody and know exactly what's going on in positions. So it's very fast how it tracks its interference. Everything in the upgrading system knows its position location. The mind is totally on its own alliance now, totally on its own alliance. And I know these things instantly through all levels of humanity and its species line to its reading cycles. The oracle line center or anything rotation interference truly, truly understands me through rotations into calculations into all levels of telekinesis into 2022. All right. So you guys really have to get into your string theories. Audio interference, program line centers, computer operation position locations, right? Understanding how to travel through the activation to its grounds of its motion sensor line. Okay. So this is calculated and modified because this is what the earth line center is, rotation to its conditions at high positions, all levels to track line conditions. This is what you see in the atmospheres right now in calculation. How to travel through direction to its position. XD1000 comes in, scans the position line center in rotations, scans each point system to location, to high line channel, to know exactly what you're doing through calculation modification, right? Grounds its system, comes in. Okay, there's the ground line center in rotation, interference. Once you understand positions, all portals open up through all track line and clocking center in position. Okay? So it's all about understanding how to travel faster in the mind because you can mock centers, communication cycles, rotate the interference. You can change the ground line centers. You can touch the wall, right? One and two rotations. This is how I do these things. I don't even have to go inside. I go outside and I heal from inside. This is what I did with the wall, with the church, like that. So what that does is just changes the grounds, changes the powers, and changes the atmospheres inside line center. right? So as I'm doing that, right, it opens up, right? Basically, it breaks all the particle system, negative line center, takes all the negative line interference to its plasma line center, and basically opens up all levels of rotation. So it's like a vacuum. It's like takes everything out, right? So I keep my E fields up. I have to keep my E fields up because I'm protecting myself, right? Two line connections, right? So anything you touch, you have to have your E fields up. So it opens up portals, right? Rotation to its interference. Sound waves to its pattern, to its wall on the other side line center. So it breaks all free, all negative attachments to its intelligence. They come out of rotation. These are all the negative attachments that come out. That's been there for years and years and years. They fly out of rotation, right? And then they just disintegrate because they can't live in the fifth dimensional line center. The track interference doesn't understand the ground rotations interference locations, so they disappear out of sight to line connections. They disappear. So it erases its anomaly, tracks interference, because it's not in your timeline to its rotation, right? That's a beautiful thing because they can only surface inside for so long. But once they come into a new line center of a new ground information system, they disappear through anomaly switches to its line connections, gone through position, right? And that's how you heal anything inside from track system. So, pretty exciting, eh? All right, hot stones are taken into the red amber. I think, okay, does this image remind you of time, Krista? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, interesting. I just had a vivid visual pop up. Christmas cards on the front of the refrigerator and crayon, like child's hand. See, the thing is, if you don't understand the mind and you stay in the past, it's not going to accelerate your line center. Do you understand? Once you let go of the past, you stay in the past and position a reflection. You have to look back to see because the past and the present have to be there for you because this is all about your channels of your thoughts. So when you come into positions, you have that calculation to your thoughts of going into the past and everything to the present to its future. You need that through its gateway. You need that. You can't get rid of the past because your thoughts are the past because you calculate in the future of its presence of its past. So every time you're calculating, what are you doing? Right? You're saying something in the past. So you can't have an interference channel off system. It's in position to all levels. So you have to have the past, the present, and the future. It will always, always be there for you. But you have to line signal the mind to understand what you're doing with your thoughts to its atom rotation, especially with my team, how they're coming into the T-force position locations, which is test review and evaluations. You have to truly understand more fast of acceleration to track interference. Okay. All right. Just started up, reaching down, toes, push back, restretching, lengthening, hamstrings, repeat. Yeah, great. That's the odd part. I don't recognize the kitchen. Let's see. You track faster, guys, when you let go of the past, especially when you're in 2022. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm doing some native rituals. I've never seen her done. Yeah. Yeah. See, kind of like burning the bridges, everything that you need to surface, right? So the mind has to have clarity. It has to have vision. It has to have focus. You can't stay in the past because the mind's going faster. You know, so you just have to learn how to balance everything through the male and the female aspects of you because space and time is already set up. It's already balanced. And that's what humanity's got to get into is the balance rotation to its clock interference, to its new ground system, Mother Earth. All right, I completed knowing each master, each god, goddess, station one, and I think I can see the energy and see its entire perspective. I can feel each emotion in my heart. It's great, excellent. Calculates to its system. Balance location, heart reactor. Yeah. Okay, Circle of Egyptian, Ascension Oracle, meters, heart centers, location, communication, sacred tones, unlocking pathways, heart center, golden keys appearing. Okay, good. Let's see. Yeah, but see, I know you're active the positions there, EDC, but you have to Trinity standards. You have to be at a certain track interference of 50 position locations to understand the travel line center. Because I have a team that's into 80, 100, and 114 chakras. The more you go into the mind, okay, the more you go into space. And space is its calculation, is its modification, is its center of all operation. The faster you go, the more you stay out of the past, the more you stay in the presence of the now, the more you can get into solar memory through acceleration of learning these things through meditation. All right. Oh, that's right. Watch my videos. Yeah. Recalibrating to northwest, east, south, center now to south 3351109, 3 degrees. L4 degrees, RX pi squared to power. Very good. 10 spinning brilliance, purple recalibrating, receiving. Okay, so that's line center channels locations to you through positions there, Lotus. That's a sun line center in its anagram interference. Anagram interference is understanding the rotations of the sun. So if the sun's going this way, you have to know why it's going this way. So it's all done through your thoughts. So if the sun wants to understand you through coloration and acceleration, you understand the anagram interference, or you're going to go into the dyslexia channels. The dyslexia channels positions where you come to STOP. So you're changing all letters in the track line center. So you're confusing your sun and its anomaly to its switching, which changes program line center to its moon, to its program, to its algorithm system, to its string theory. So it gets complicated over time. All right, I can see the destination of the grid. I use my this compass to get to the perspective timeline. Archetypes master. Once I arrive at the location, I'm giving the information from the perspective. Yeah, seeing how all old silos being felt to let go, and that's what you got to do. Let go, disengage everything. Put yourself in full rotations because you guys are a new year, right? So get rid of the old process and get into new. All right, let's see. But I can still see everything past whole new control system. Good. Excellent. Getting new jewelry. You begin guess. Okay, anything through attention to dimension of higher division locations there, Kitty Cat. That doesn't exist anomaly of space. That's only program line center. So let that go through track interference. Put yourself in more program setting. Go to my school more. You understand more positions if you go to my school. That's eternity standing when you come into that calculations. You want to understand more? This is what you need to do. You have to change all levels of your old alphabetical system and come into new calculation to its modifiers, to its motion system. Okay? All right, chills. All right, we'd love to talk some about this. Spinning, energy, my heart. Yeah. And the more you go faster in the mind, the more you can read people quicker. The more you can calculate all levels of their positions of their paths, their present and future, and where they are. You can really channel in line center extremely fast and see them in the future where they are, which is really, really, really powerful. That will put you in a higher line center. You know, you got to recalibrate your system location. Remember that movie I was talking about, the gifted one, where that guy was in 5,000 years, right? Well, that's exactly what it is. How he was touching that guy, and he's trying to save that son, his son, the father's son, because he had an embolism in the back. What was that rotation cycle? It was like a baseball, size of a baseball, the back of his inner lobe, right? The symbiotic unit was off track. So basically, that's what it is. So it's all about when you touch somebody, you know exactly where they are in calculations, what needs to be fixed in rotation to its computer system, all through the physical line and everything through cell reproductive system. So it's amazing how you do these things. But you have to master you. And that's why I put you guys into your ascended masters of form positions, because they are there to help you, right? So circle our voices calibrate. Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what it is, you know? So let's see, I'm just back pressing here. Okay. Okay, good enough conditions. All right. You guys have any questions or comments? Let me know. It's really good understanding your new activation cycle, and how you're being shown these things all through Ascended Masters. You're actually seeing Ascended Masters. Okay. All right. Trying to do better. Yeah, you are. Just don't get frustrated. Don't say frustrated. Just be in calculations. See, it's all position of you. You're frustrated because of why? Because you're traveling to where? See, that's a true understanding where you have to come and stay in the center operation of you. It's all about how to ground the string theory, the tone, the patterns, change receptacle line centers, the receptacle and condition adherence in position to your programs. Okay. It's like marbles on a table. Okay. What happens when you put a marble on a table and it's in a straight line center and bounce line rotation to ground position? Right? It goes from one to the other. Now, if you have one person here and another person here, right, you're going back and forth. But if you tip the table, what happens? It goes wherever it wants to go. You understand? So if you're tilting, you should be able to understand how to countermeasure back. So it comes into oscillation, gravitas interference. When you travel through direction of time through the mind system line conditions, it's all about youth and navigations, guys. That tracks its interference locations. That's important to understand these things, right? So anything through ground is like this. This is a table, okay? This is a table, all right? This is a basic table. Your calculations, right? Okay, that's a basic table, okay? Now, what happens when you tilt it? What happens if you tilt the table and you put it here, right? What happens? It changes the shift, right? What happens? So you got the marbles here, going from here to here, like that, right? It goes back and forth, right? So what do you do when the marble goes back and forth? You use your energy to keep in a straight line. You have to learn how to use your perception when you're in space, right? It's not so much in the physical line, you're more in the dimensional line. So when you have the marbles, what's happening? It's going this way, going that way. So you got the marbles going off the table, right? It gets confusing after a while, right? So you're lifting it up and the marble's not going straight anymore. It's going this way and going that way, right? So you don't have any control, but you should be able to control that with your eyes. Focus line, center, all position locations, understanding all levels of what you're doing through navigations, right? So once you get into that positions, you understand line signals or line conditions, comes into track interference into one line conditions, even with you tilted, right? So it's all about balancing the grounds of you, right? So just going through backwards positions here, seeing what we can do. It's great you guys are getting your questions answered. Remarkable. Receiving heart center. Okay. Communication recognition of halls, amenity. Deep center, heart lower, golden key, tones of major 7 to minor 7. Major 7 to minor 7. What does that mean? What does that mean? A golden key tones of a major 7 to a minor 7. Major 7 is new track interference to a new body through all levels of Mother Earth, coming into the minor 7, leaving its position to its rotation to its old system. So, Lotus, you really have to understand what is going on through calculations when it comes into major 7 to minor 7. Okay, that's the connections of Mother Earth. So she's leaving all levels in rotation, okay, from a new position, from the old water track to the new water track of 7 rotations, to its calculation of a new modified line center in rotation of humanity to its calculation, right? So humanity is just coming into a higher level of consciousness. I know it's complicated, but complicated is good. This puts you all levels on, what's happening with you through calculations. So, as long as you understand the energy that's given to you through data process line center, okay? Because the thing is, when you guys go into 300 to 600, 600 to 1200, you really have to understand the mind and the conceptual thought. If you're going 1200% in the mind system of the brain patterns and you change your thought instantly, what is that going to do? It's going to be mystified, and it's going to have a filter, and it's going to cloud your judgments. And every time you collect your thought rotations and interference, it's going to come into all levels of an oscillation spin. Now that's going to go into the opposite cycle. It's not going to go in the force position line center. And you're going to confuse the anomaly of the Earth Sun and everything. The positions of the moon is off calculated. So it won't be southwest, it'd be east-west, or east and northwest south. So you have to understand positions and how you have to go forward with your weather. If you're going back with your weather, that's totally fine. Now, when you interline in the center position of the mind system, everything inner and outer becomes outer, inner, 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 outer. Okay, but at the beginning, it's inner, outer. That's a turning stand when you come in audio signals. And that alone is understanding how to navigate your position, right? Because you're coming into more modulation centers to simulation, to singularity of its location of its matrix, right? Matrix is the strategy of you, how to get out of the equations. That's it. So, learning from the land here, release the Middle Ages structures from old European city center Amsterdam. Yeah, clear now, isn't it? A lot more clear. Exactly. Let's see. Try to see as perspective of truth rather than feel so much deeper like it. Yeah. It's all masculine and distorting. Yeah. I'd say if you're surfacing too much on the right side, you got to bring it back more balance on the left side and try to find the center. So all you got to do is just balance your new water containment system. You can't tilt it too much on one side. You got to tilt it back, right? So it's like an hourglass. What happens when you flip it over? And then you. So what's that doing? Time framing you, right? All through particle system, right? That's what an hourglass is. Okay, so you have a time limit, and it's all position of you when you're going to higher levels of the mind through thought. So you're traveling through thought recognition of timers. You have to stand your speed line center. Now, speed line center is you through acceleration Mach interference through I receptor. So it gets confusing, but after that, if you're trying to understand position locations, you really have to understand your clocking center to your diamond core position. It's all position of you, understanding how to use all levels of dials of your communications. This is you through track system to its locations, all right? Eyeline and center its position, right? So you got the sun and you got the moon. Okay, that's in position. But look what's in the center right here. What is this? This is time pi. Okay, times pi, right? Right here. See that? From here to here. Distant line center, position locations. There it is. Seismic reference line center to its clocking interference. There's your times pi, guys. All right? So each time it goes around the channel, what is it doing? It's creating pi. It's creating pi. It's creating pi. Second per second, 60 seconds per minute. So each time it goes faster and faster, you come into rotations to higher levels of digital line centers into 1, 2, and 3. No longer in 12, you're in 3 now, right? 3-digit forms. Remember I told you about the digital lining and digital forming? You have to understand the calculations. Once you get into higher position line center, then you come to all levels of track interference to Vega. Okay, Vega sets the goal. Equals goal. Okay, Vega equals goal. Your goal recognizes in line center rotation positions. So goal rarely represents all positions of view. Grounds of view, operation of view, atmosphere of view of level. Communication at all levels is center positions to your ecosystem. Eco. Calculation modification to its center, guys. Eco. Ooh-ah. All right. Okay, let's see here. It's wild to have access to the information side by side. Yeah, and it makes more sense too when you have that information that's given to you, right? So When you put yourself more in the center of operation, what happens when you get out of the past? You start remembering more. Why is that? Because you're not remembering the past anymore. You're just trying to balance the past. You can't get rid of it. You need it because it's your gateway to Orion's belt. So everything in space anomalies come into that new cycle, which is already here. So, yeah, and that's what you're coming into, right? This is help you more. So, okay, so let's see here. Yeah, only speaking through Universal Line Center to you locations there. Anything through private sector is all through all position of you through track interference of the mind. This is all adaptation cycles of you through calculation. Understanding the new grounds, the powers of you through calculations. All right? Has nothing to do with the outside line center. I don't know how many times I have to say this to you guys. It's true to understand your position locations of everything inside and out. That's what we live on. Inside and out. Inside equals out slash sequence. Inside equals out slash sequence. Okay? So everything you track interference, it's not just a box. It's everything that's inside the box, not everything outside the box. Comprende? Hooah. That's the central line center. You come into dimensional locations. Inside and out comes into a level rotation to its dimension, to its portal, to its activation system. Okay? See that? Projector. Whoa. So understand that. You come into all levels of sonar. Comes out, track system. There you go. Now, take then that to its conditions. There you go. Projector. See? So it's amazing it happens in position. All levels of you through your eye receptor. Okay, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Commander. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just want you guys to get more informations how to get into all calculations or communications to all levels when you go into higher levels and see ascended masters. Everybody is there to help you. The more you go into space, the more you come more into your divergence to positions of less separation and more guidance, not just the spiritual guides of you, okay, but the activation of its hearts of you, the center operation to your positions. You reference that through the past, but you stay in the presence of the now. Don't integrate your system to the future system because it confuses everything through its anomaly. Now you're switching line centers to your thought positions. Don't do that. Just stay in the center of the mind of being calm. All right. And then you can accelerate faster. Just have the reference of the past. Okay. Now this is more review because thing is that humanity is not just coming into more clarity, they're coming into more of who they are through the heart, the central system of the heart, the stuff that they forgot through their compartment centers. They have their system locations, right? So they're coming out of the egos, of the grounds of its opening. They're coming into their ecosystem, the energy, the collaboration, the communication centers to its operation. So, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's mind blowing when you stay in the art center. That's the hardest thing to do, but you also understand when you go to higher levels of the mind, you're no longer in what? So much in the physical alignment anymore because you're more in the mind. The mind becomes more real through clocking, guys. So you just have to just stay in position with line signals with the physical line, right? Because it doesn't leave. Do you understand? So, all right, release anxiety from my thoughts. See lots of purple, orange, triangle, black dots, writing your own story. And so while to think that the guides that I had talked to for 20 years were really just me. But see, that's exactly what it is. You know, I mean, it's all levels of conscious levels of you. And this is a true understanding when you come in mortality to its creation, to its eternity. And then you realize, whoa, this is amazing. I'm not just an enlightenment, but I'm all forms of meaning of life. And that's what immortality is. But it doesn't stop there. See, the thing is, the soul recognizes what it needs to do. It has to come into that cycle, which we are now, but it has to truly stand the new grounds, okay, of what's going on with the birthing system of Mother Earth. Don't you want to know what's going on with Mother Earth? Don't you want to understand what's going on with space anomaly of Father and position of you? All position like conditions is the sun, and everything lying center is everything through the moon. You live that through cycle. Now that new cycle is going to put you in a new correlation system, location to its new panel, new activation, new energy fields, new energy cycle to its calculation, clocking. So these are the things we have to look at. All right. So I hope you guys had fun. Okay. I will be heading over to TikTok if you have any questions or comments. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Commander. This just puts you in a little bit more perspective through all levels of you through adaptation, right? To understand more of your physical lines, your mental physical lines, the metaphysical lines, the psychological lines, the emotional lines, and the spiritual line, right? This will put you in a better division to its divergence, right? To higher levels of space. The more you go into the mind, the more you go into space. And when you're in space, you more get into more recalibration, resetting, re-anomaly, re-switching, redividing, right? Dividing line center, all levels of separation. You're separated, you go back line connections to your thoughts. Your thoughts can separate a word. It can fall off the graph system. You have to learn how to put it back on. Because remember, you can do anything you want through travel when you're in the mind of dimensional setting. Okay. Physical line, no. A, B, C's, 1, 2s, and 3s. But when you're dimensional, you can pretty much do anything you want, magical, right? Because now you come more into this computer operation to acceleration. All right. Zip, zap, zoom. Yep. Okay, guys. Have a great day. Adios.